Andy Roddick has taken on the look of a champion. Until now, comparisons to the great American champions of the past 2 decades have fallen short. Roddick has been more potential than results. But in the summer of 2003, Andy Roddick has proven himself ready to assume the storied mantle of American tennis. Today, in his 2nd straight Tennis Masters final, Roddick plays another of the new American generation. Mardy Fish, whose week of success in Cincinnati must seem to him like every dream come true. The #1 ranking in this tennis champions race is at stake. Andy Roddick versus Mardy Fish in an All-American final, next, live on ESPN2. From an All-American city, an All-American final in perfect All-American summer weather from Mason, just about 30 minutes from Cincinnati. Welcome everyone to the Western and Southern Financial Group Masters. Andy Roddick, USA, and Mardy Fish, also from the USA. Friendly hello to everybody. Cliff Drysdale alongside Patrick Madrow on the grounds of this tennis center, which hosts this historic event. It goes back over 100 years. As for Andy Roddick, you know, Patrick, there's so many things that you can say about this guy at this stage. You can talk about his record. You can talk about the tournaments that he's won. The truth is, his game has translated into making him now a tennis superstar.
Well, that's for sure, Cliff. But, I mean, let's talk a little bit about some of the numbers because they're darn impressive for Andy Roddick. He's going for his 5th title of the year today in Cincinnati. The biggest one for him came last week up in Canada, where he won his first Tennis Masters Series title up there. And I said last week, I think this is one of the toughest things to do, to win back-to-back in Canada and here in Cincinnati. And Andy Roddick is 1 match away. And let me tell you, he's made it look easy so far in his wins here just outside Cincinnati. In fact, the player last to accomplish this feat was Patrick Rafter back in '98. And remember, yes, he went on to win the U.S. Open that year.
And it should be said that if he wins today, he will lead the points race to Houston, Patrick.
That's right. He'll bypass Roger Federer, who's just a few points ahead of Andy Roddick right now, and become #1 in the champions race based on predominantly what he's done just in the last couple of months.
I have to say that our discussions about Mardy Fish have come true. It doesn't often happen between the two of us.
No.
But we kind of saw a maturity of this man as a player. We looked at his shots improve. We saw the serve. We saw the returner serve. That forehand that's been giving him some trouble. That translates into a legitimate contender. And we're talking top 5, 10 in the world now, right?
Well, maybe, but I mean, that's still a ways away from Mardy Fish. Andy Roddick is there. Mardy Fish has taken a big step this week to being a contender to get there. He's got the big serve, and that will be a factor today. He hasn't lost serve now 57 straight games since his opening round match with Mark Philippoussis. So if he can keep up those numbers, that will put pressure on Andy Roddick. And hey, he won 2 tie breaks last night, did Mardy Fish, beating Rainer Schuttler. It's just an exciting day for American tennis.
Patrick, we lost a lot of seeded players in this tournament early, but I would have to say that if you were a promoter to this event and you said at the beginning of the week that you could have Mardy Fish taking on Andy Roddick in the final, you'd say, I'll take it.
You'll be happy with that.
That's what you say. Mason, it is a very pleasant matchup. Mardy Fish has just had a great week. Andy Roddick's had a great 2 weeks. In fact, he's had a great year. Tennis Masters Series in Mason, Ohio. Andy Roddick starting out in Australia, as a matter of fact, getting to the semi-final under weather conditions that were a little hotter than today. 85, humidity 60. It's gone down a lot. Some chance of rain, but not here in the next few hours. That's for sure. Andy Roddick, first point.
Love 15. Roddick starts off with a double fault. 20-year-old, 6'2", living in South Florida, Boca Raton area. And what a year he's having, especially on the hard courts this summer. A win in Indianapolis, a win up in Canada. easy matches for Roddick. Verdasco and straights. Lukacic, James Blake played a very good first set, but Roddick's rolls in the second. Zabaleta, no match. Mirny, Roddick was down in the first set tiebreak, 5-1. He came back and love 30-second serve here for Marty Fish. That was a shaky forehand from Roddick, and Nick Fish is taking a look at that. I mean, yeah, it's the first game, but these are big points when you consider that Roddick hasn't lost his serve since his opening round, and neither has Marty Fish.
30 all. So anytime you get a break of serve in this match in the final, could and would, according to the statistics, be lethal.
Told you that Fish has held serve 57 games in a row. Roddick 41.
40-30.
And Fish saving 15 break points in all of those games.
Game Roddick.
But like he so often does, he serves his way out of trouble. One to Roddick.
Well, Marty Fish
First game.
taking on Rainer Schuttler in the semifinals last night, and you know, wasn't a great start for Marty Fish. He was down numerous break points early, but he was able to hold, wins the first set in the tiebreak. Second set, Fish had more opportunities to break the Schuttler serve, but no breaks. And using that two-handed backhand, Marty Fish looking very good in the tiebreak. That goes wide, and he sneaks through into this final today against his buddy Andy Roddick.
Marty Fish to serve. Love 15.
Marty Fish, 21. Raised in Vero Beach, now living in the Tampa area. Excellent record this year, especially on the hard courts, 21-9.
Showing that he's got this week an all-court game,
15 all.
enabling him to take out Philippoussis. Lost 2 breaks. In fact, that's the last time he's lost his serve. That's the first set against Philippoussis. Beat Malise, Clement, and Nalbandian before he clipped Schuttler yesterday. Now, Schuttler had a lot of chances to break him in the first set, but didn't.
Marty, the first unseeded finalist since Chris Lewis lost to my brother John. That's what Marty Fish has improved upon so much, that ability not just to make forehands, but to hurt his opponents with that shot. Because his two-handed backhand has always been just lethal off the ground. Now his forehand starting to catch up to that side.
Full house here this afternoon in Mason at this Western and Southern Financial Group Masters, and Marty Fish says he loves the idea that Monday Night Football type crowds will be around, although they'll be a little torn between these two, both from the USA.
That's what Marty Fish has been able to rely on this week. Hitting great first serves when he needs it, and at 30 all, he comes up with his first ace.
Game Fish.
Fish holds on. There's a difference between the Champions Race, which starts in January every year, and then the rankings, the ATP rankings, which are an average of the last 12 months of play. So there's a slight difference. The end of the year, when the Tennis Masters Cup in Houston is over, it's the same number. Agassi leads that. So over the last 12 months, he has been the most successful player and continues his albeit very, very slim lead over Federer.
Ferrero, the French Open champ, Roddick in fourth.
Love 15.
It's big for Roddick, Cliff, to get to that 4 spot, because that means now going into the U.S. Open that he will avoid both Agassi and Federer until the semifinals.
15 all.
Which in my mind are 2 of the other favorites. I would put Roddick as the favorite right now for the U.S. Open, and then I put Federer and Agassi next.
30-15.
Spending too much time with you lately, P-Mac, is I agree.
You're starting to.
I came around.
You're coming around slowly.
You started with Roddick early last week, and I thought you were taking a risk. But now I'm on board.
40-15.
Marty has watched Andy Roddick's meteoric rise, and he said yesterday, I've never told anybody this, but I always thought it was a matter of time before I hopefully was going to do the same.
Game, Roddick.
Roddick has a 2-game-to-1 lead on serve. Marty Fish will serve to try to level here in set 1 when we come back live to Mason. Roddick with the lead. Marty Fish to serve here to try to get even in the first.
It's going to be an all-American day no matter what here in Cincinnati, because earlier today they played the doubles final. And the Bryan brothers from
15.
California won the doubles here. They played this before the singles, which I think is a great idea. They took out Wayne Arthurs and Paul Hanley from Australia, 7-5, 7-6. Mr. Bryan's also the French Open champs this year, so they're really having a phenomenal season. But I like that idea, Cliff, having the doubles final earlier. There was a great crowd, and they were into the match. I think Marty Fish is moving way up, and he will move up if he loses this final into about the mid-20s in the rankings. And that drops in, and if Fish were to win this one, upset Roddick, I believe he would move into the top 20. This ball to shot spot say, just barely catching.
So good call. Close. 30-15.
Fault. Overruled by Jerry Armstrong in the chair.
Took a little off that one. Came in, and Roddick was not in position to make the pass. That's pretty smart.
Especially since Roddick was so far back, Cliff, when he made contact with the forehand. That's what Marty Fish has, is a very good court sense out there. And he's playing just very composed tennis. You see, he comes in, he's very confident. He's been volleying very well this tournament.
Marty Fish spent about a year in the Roddick house down there in South Florida.
Roddick is really shored up that backhand side to where his passing shots off that wing are much more secure. Fish couldn't catch up to that. Still game point for Fish.
The Roddick family has moved around the country, but he was born in Nebraska, spent some time in Texas, and now South Florida.
That's Jerry on the left, Andy's dad, and his mom next to him, Blanche. She's heading up Andy's foundation now. Good return there from Roddick, so he's got himself a break point.
First of the match for either player.
Advantage Roddick.
And this in jeopardy now as Fish has held 58 straight games. Goes back to the opening round of this tournament. And that's what he's been able to come up with.
That's the 16th time he's done it. Right here since the first round.
Juice.
Broken twice, as we mentioned, against the flipper Mark Philippoussis. Kelly Jones is coaching him. Kelly's from Cincinnati. He's going to head south toward the island paradise, Key Biscayne, where the USTA have one of their headquarters.
He's one of the USTA coaches, so he's been working with Marty for over a year now. Ooh, called wide. Fish doesn't like it, and Roddick says, no, here's the mark.
Murmur from the crowd.
I couldn't tell you on either of them.
Jerry Armstrong is not going to... No, that was wide. Again, these guys have been very good friends. I said they stayed in the same house. They used to play basketball. He said they're very competitive in just about everything. A lot of one-on-one in the backyard. Race to school every day.
They have some heated ping pong matches now currently, too. Second break point for Roddick. Oh, he's got it.
Save.
Oh, was that some composure there from Fish, because Roddick was looking for this serve up the middle.
Juice.
High volley. And he plays it just on the line. Shot spot confirms that.
Roddy Fish talks about the fact that they had the same goals. And they're at school, and one of them, as that goes wide, and Fish has got a game point. He said, I mean, one of them was to play in a major championship final against each other. This is the moment.
Juice.
Second double for Marty Fish. Struggling on those second serve points so far. He has really been mixing that serve around beautifully all tournament long. This one 115 miles an hour up the middle with a lot of spin on it. And Roddick couldn't get his two-handed backhand going there and just popped it up.
Oh boy, just one more. Thanks. Game Fish.
So Fish holds on down the break point, but the score is even in the first set, 2 apiece. San Diego Spirit at Atlanta beat tonight. ESPN2 has a semifinal, 2003 WUSA playoffs. See which team moves into the championship match. That's WUSA Soccer 6 Eastern, ESPN2. Follow every kick of every game in the English Premiership with the ESPN SoccerNet Gamecast. Log on to ESPNSoccerNet.com.
15 love.
Women's soccer is just getting more and more popular, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. It helps when you win the World Cup.
Yeah, that helps. That was quite an event.
Marty Fish talking about their friendship says, he says, I mean, we always made little bets, and I never beat him at bets, and it kills me.
A return there from Fish on that two-hander.
15-30. This will be like a tie break, and he'll take one guy, and I'll take the other guy, and this guy will win every single time.
That's great scrambling by Fish to stay in that point. And Roddick not happy with his racket, I think. He's a little bit flustered here.
15-14.
Down, Love 30's first serve game, comes back, wins 4 in a row. Now a couple of break points. It's been a while since either one of these two were broken, as you said. 41 and zip for Roddick, 57 and zip.
That's coming into the match, yeah.
Yes.
Second serve here for Marty Fish. Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
First blood to Marty Fish. Not the favorite by any means. Kelly Jones, a little nod. Well done to his man. He's got the break. You'll serve, and we come back live to Mason. Marty Fish with the break of serve 3-2. He will serve. We talked about these two being friends. Well, Roddick acknowledges it, but says when they get on the court, it's another story.
It's tough playing a friend, but I think that we're all professional enough to know that when you get inside those lines, you know, there really aren't any friends out there. You know, we're not going to be having full dialogues or making jokes during the matches and stuff. I'm going to be trying to win, and he's going to be trying to win. And then afterwards, who knows? We could go to dinner, or we could hang out with each other. You know, but once you get on the court, it's you know, it's our job.
Andy's parents here, Jerry and Blanche, they took care of Marty for a while at the Roddick place at a tennis. They still have a tennis court there. They used to get out there and battle there. Quarterfinals. They just played a few weeks ago. Roddick won it easily. And Marty Fish has come out and started here. He's a different player. He is confident. He's not intimidated by Roddick by the serve at all. And when they get into these rallies, Marty Fish is looking very comfortable. And Marty's parents not here. His dad's a tennis pro down in Florida, Tom, and Marty wanted me to mention that it's his mom's birthday today. Salad.
Happy birthday, Sal.
Happy birthday to you.
They're
From Marty.
They're watching, but they didn't want to change things, you know. So they didn't,
no.
Bad karma. They haven't been here, so they didn't want to come. And talking about karma, he's been going out every morning the same restaurant. You know that old thing. You don't want to change anything. That's a winning game, and they've been going to about 2 or 3 of the same restaurants here, right here in the area. The hotel's not far from the site. 30-15.
And Andy's parents have been here all week. They actually have some relatives in the area, so this is a tournament they always come to. They don't go to too many tournaments. There's that backhand again from Marty Fish, and he's burning Roddick with that one up the line a couple of times in this game.
14-15.
And again, he's more secure on the forehand side, so Roddick not able to break that side down yet. And Roddick's a little defensive from the back of the court. Oh, beautiful 1-2 there from Marty Fish.
And he holds.
And he's doing it from all areas of the court so far, Marty Fish.
Not much difference from anything else that he's been doing all week, to be honest with you. 4-2 in the first set of this Western and Southern Financial Group Masters. Roddick and Fish. Cliff Drysdale here, Patrick McEnroe alongside in the championship match. Roddick down a break. Against unseeded Marty Fish, who has had a breakout tournament, and not just a throwaway line for him. He has deserved his wins.
40 love.
And beaten a lot of very tough hardcore players in Schuttler, Nalbandian, Clement, Philippoussis, Melise. Oh, he is certainly sending the message to Andy Roddick that
40-15.
I'm here to win this match.
Game, Roddick.
Roddick holds, but he's down a break. 4-3. Marty Fish will serve when we come back live to Mason. Tennis Masters Series Championship match here in Mason, Ohio, on a really spectacular day. Weather has cooled down, sun is out, perfect playing conditions. Marty Fish, breaker serve, 4-3.
Andy Roddick's return strike points here. You see the first serve of the yellow, the red of the second serves.
Love 15.
And Marty Fish double faulting there. Love 15. That's his third double.
In this day and age, when it is supposed to be so hard to serve and volley, because racket technology has helped the returners of serve, and undoubtedly it has, Marty Fish proving this week that it is not a lost art.
Max Mirny also proving it, and he came in on pretty much everything. Lost yesterday to Roddick in the semis.
He missed it. Roddick ends up winning that. He was way back for that return serve and on his heels in that point, but here's what happened.
15.
Good defense right there by Roddick, and Marty didn't do enough with that one, and he whips that forehand cross court. Fish was there, but couldn't handle the pace.
15-30.
Ooh,
30.
that's a loose return there by Andy Roddick. 15-30. Showing some nerves as Brad Gilbert, Roddick's coach, says, uh-oh.
Had a very good hard court season some years back.
89.
Right when he won this tournament. Lost only one match for the US Open.
14,
Roddick is
13.
19-1 hard courts this year. A win away from joining Gilbert and Agassi. Game point, Fish.
Deuce.
Another good first serve from Marty Fish.
Advantage Fish.
And a lot of his first serves pulling Roddick out wide in that deuce court.
Serving well enough to put pressure on just about any returner now.
Mm-hmm.
Huge difference. Game point.
Game Fish.
And an ace. Fourth for Marty Fish. Wednesday, 4 p.m. ESPN2. More tennis. Women in action from New Haven, Connecticut. The Pilot Pen. Wednesday at 4. Heard this morning from one and only Mary Jo Fernandez.
She'll be there, right, in New Haven?
Yeah.
It's always a great event there for the women.
And hubby
15
Tony Godzik is Marty Fish's agent.
So he's extremely happy about
Extremely
what he's
happy.
seeing this week. He was here earlier in the week. drive from the
15
IMG headquarters in Cleveland. Roddick has just not seemed to be as comfortable from the back of the court since the start of this match as he's been really the last 2 weeks.
15 all.
Look at that. We're missing badly there. Marty Fish has been able to blunt that serve of Andy Roddick. Just take it pretty early, and Brad Gilbert has not seen this type of play from his guy all summer long. A lot of unforced errors. That's 7. Fish has got a real chance. Look at what he did yesterday. 39 winners, 1 error. Closed his set out right here.
30 all. Andy says that before he even started playing junior tennis, he was already used to the tour because he used to go out with Jerry and Blanche and his older brother John to play these junior events. And he thinks that it helped him because he knows how to handle things, and his parents learned along the way too. Wide game point, Roddick.
It
is so difficult to know what to do with a youngster who has got obvious athletic talent.
Game, Roddick.
As Roddick holds on, you get asked that question all the time. The answers are so difficult, but Andy's family sure answered them. 5-4. Fish will serve for the set when we come back. Artistic photography there through the tennis racket. Andy Roddick at 4-5. Marty Fish serving. Roddick winning last Sunday his first Tennis Masters Series event in Montreal.
Looking to serve out this first set and hold for the 62nd time in a row this week. Roddick had 2 break points early in this first set.
Love 15.
3:40 in the afternoon. The sun by now should not be a real bad factor, but it's not helpful on that side there where Marty Fish is now. He's served 4 doubles so far. And Roddick backs up for the second serve.
Wow. He is just misfiring.
15 all.
But 1 unforced error in the first set yesterday.
In the whole match yesterday.
In this first set, Roddick's already made 8.
Not even so much that he's making some errors, Clip. It's the way he's making them. He's missing big. Wow, no footwork there from Roddick.
30-15.
Yeah, and Marty Fish just reaches back 124 miles an hour.
After that double fault, Marty
14-15.
Fish, and set point now.
Oh, Kelly Jones.
13.
That smile has been a big reason why he's clicked with Marty, because he's got that sort of relaxed, let's have fun type of attitude, and that's been very good for Marty Fish. Still set point. Makes no mistake on that one.
Solid as a rock as Marty Fish holds. Only 1 break, and it was against. Andy Roddick serves 6-4. Marty Fish has won the first set of this championship match at the Masters Series. Marty Fish, 6-4 over Andy Roddick there in the championship match. Hasn't always been that way. He has happy memories of this tournament.
we were young guys coming up, and maybe we deserved a chance here and there. But yeah, they were nice enough to give us a wild card here, and in the same tournament, in the same week, and same year. And yeah, it is ironic that we are in the final, playing each other, and it's it's something that I'm sure if you ask him and you ask me, we've dreamt about playing each other, in a big tournament like this, ever since we lived with each other.
So this is the moment that they are enjoying now. Patrick, what's the wild card?
Wild card is tournament directors have a few of them at each tournament to give to whomever they please. For instance, Michael Chang, who's not ranked high enough anymore, got one here. And Marty was referring back to 2000 when these guys were on the rise. They're continuing to rise now. Roddick leading the way. And Marty Fish even early this year. As you see, there's Blake, Ginepri, Marty Fish, Brian Vahaley was one of the guys to get a wild card here. Oftentimes given to young players on the rise or veteran players.
They remember the tournaments that gave them to them too.
And they remember the ones that didn't give them to them.
So when they become superstars.
40 love.
40 love here. First game to Roddick in the second. Roddick down a set to Marty Fish.
Game, Roddick.
Good start to Andy Roddick in the second set. The first set, though, he was a little bit flat, was Roddick, and Marty Fish taking full advantage. From the back of the court, he was able to match Roddick. Look at that big two-hander up the line. He used that a couple of times. And Marty Fish also showing that he can do it with the serve volley play. Beautiful backhand volley. Set point. Another serve volley. One break was all that Marty Fish needed to wrap up that first set.
Marty Fish has now saved 17 break points against his serve.
15 love.
Since earlier this week. It's amazing, actually, how successful he's been there. 6 break points against Schuttler, he saved. $15 in his first 4 victories since the first round. Now 17. It's living dangerously, of course. 15 all.
15 all.
But it also translates into playing the big points on his own serve very well.
And the first serve points on his serve, Marty Fish, he's played exceptionally well so far. 18 out of 22. And that's where Roddick struggles, and he's improved that. But we saw yesterday against Mirny that Roddick has trouble with the good first serve and someone that can come in and do this. And Marty Fish has done this extremely effectively so far. Great balance, good movement, and excellent feel at the net. Andy Roddick is not used to seeing that type of hitting from Marty Fish from the back of the court.
40-15.
As Marty's on top of the baseline, he's the one controlling play and then hitting his big forehand. Andy Roddick saying to himself, that's what I'm supposed to be doing to Marty.
Game points to Fish.
Game, Fish.
Even in the second, one apiece, only one break in the match against
One game.
Roddick. Fish won the first set. Tennis Master Series champion started with Leighton Hewitt out in Indian Wells, and then Andy Roddick won the last one. Ferrero in Monte Carlo on the clay, Agassi on the hard in Miami, Felix Mantilla on the clay in Rome, and Corrier's had such a good year on the clay.
Won 3 tournaments this summer on clay as well, the young Argentine.
He looks good for the champions race in Houston at the end of the year.
Marty Fish again, that court sense there. He hits the return. He's not looking to come in, but he sees that Roddick's stretching. So he comes in, he sneaks in, and then perfect technique as he cuts that ball off. Look where he's taking that Roddick serve. I mean, he's right on top of the baseline. It's not intimidating.
Love 30.
And early in the match, Cliff, when Roddick lost his serve and he went to the changeover, he sort of jumped up and down on his strings on the racket. He hasn't been happy with the tension in the strings right from the start.
Weather slightly different today. It's not as humid.
15-30.
Can affect string tension some. .30.
Wow, Roddick is really flustered. And Marty Fish, look at his return strike points. He's stepping right in to take Roddick's serves. The yellow, the first serves, the red, the second. And he has himself 2 more break points to grab a stranglehold on this final.
Huge moment.
It's more Roddick-like there. Haven't seen too many points like that where he's able to control things from the back and look to attack with the forehand as he does here.
Heads up on this point coming up. It's still a break point for Marty Fish. He has served brilliantly. And he returns that long.
Deuce.
Don't get many chances against Roddick's serve. Deuce. Having said that, you don't get many chances against Fish's serve either.
Exactly, and Roddick couldn't capitalize on his 2 in the first set. Again, that backhand down the line. You know, they've played against each other since they were 10, 11 years old, so Fish knows that Roddick's looking to move. Look where Roddick is. He's looking to run around his backhand. Fish knows it, and he's got the weapon to deal with it. A 2-hander up the line. Great point by Roddick.
One of these 2 is quicker off the mark, P-Man.
Very close. Probably Roddick maybe a little bit on the baseline. Fish is obviously more comfortable at net. I'd say it's extremely close.
Deuce. 3 break points, Fish, in this set. No conversions. Stab volley.
That was a 139-mile-an-hour serve, and that was a Fish return. I mean, you talk about seeing the ball early, forcing Roddick to come up with a tough volley. Can't touch that one, though.
Saves 3 break points. Andy Roddick was in serious trouble there down the break. Marty Fish only needed 1 break in the first. Back there's only been 1 break in the match. 6-4 first set to Fish on serve in the second. Andy Roddick trailing Marty Fish, unseeded Marty Fish, winning the first set 6-4 on serve. 2-1. Go, Andy. Very adventurous, but nevertheless, we'll take it. Andy and Marty Fish got his supporters here too. They're divided.
15 love.
Marty Fish, relatively speaking, newcomer to this well, he's never been in this stage of a tournament before.
They're excited here. See an All-American final. Hasn't been one since Agassi beat Chang back in '96.
Oh. 15 all.
Fifth double fault from Marty Fish.
Now, we've been talking about the fact these guys are good buddies, Patrick, and I know obviously they want to beat each other's brains out if they possibly can, but is there any dynamic here that is different from guys that really hate each other?
I don't think so. I think these guys really want to win, and Roddick frustrated or very, very competitive with each other, as both of them talk about in whatever they do. So, no. What's different is that Marty Fish knows Roddick's game well. He knows his tendencies. And what we're seeing today, Cliff, is it's one thing to know what they are. It's another thing to have the tools to be able to, to combat it. And that's what's been impressing me about Marty Fish's game. And this is just sort of a message here. Quite Pistol Pete height, but pretty good.
2-2. Can you imagine these two cycling down the road near Boca Prep, heading to school together, and you know, talking about this and that, betting on whatever. Now they're playing for 200 G's. It's a difference between 2 and 4.
Is it really that different though?
Maybe not. Maybe not.
That's what's so fun about it, and fun to watch it. Oh, there's that two-hander again. And see, Marty Fish has seen this nasty kick serve so much, so often. I mean, he's confident, and he just steps right into it.
$30-15.
Almost like something clicked in Marty Fish's mind this week. Because he has just been, he's been so mentally strong, and his game has just come together.
That's a rookie mistake there from Fish, letting that ball go. He knew it was good because he didn't argue.
Live here on center court at the Western and Southern Financial Group Masters, Cliff Drysdale, Patrick McEnroe, Marty Fish on court, Andy Roddick. First set to Fish. Game point Roddick at 2-2.
14-30.
Hard as Roddick hits that second serve, not many double faults from him. That's the third today.
His first serve percentage, Cliff, isn't as good as it normally is. He's at 59%. Normally Roddick's up in the high 60s, even 70s, which for how hard he serves is incredible.
Dan Roddick.
Roddick holds, and he's in front. Marty Fish will serve to try to level here in the second set. It's 2-3. First set to Marty Fish. One break. Live in Mason, Ohio, just across the highway from Kings Island, and about 20 minutes to 30 minutes from downtown Cincinnati. Welcome everyone. Championship match, Tennis Masters Series. It's 3-2 in the second set. Roddick in front. Fish has not been broken and he's serving.
Another excellent second serve from Marty Fish. Balanced by 6 double faults. Or 4 aces for Marty Fish. You see, Marty has that confidence right now that when he does double fault, he says, okay, let me come back at a good safe first serve and finish up the mess at the net. And Roddick is so far back on the return. Look how much time Fish has to get in. 20 of 27 when he's up at the net for Marty Fish.
Good point, my dear Watson. Nobody seems to have been able to do that yet to Roddick's serve and volley that effectively.
Well, Max Mirny was able to do it for the first set, Cliff, but he wasn't able to match Roddick from the back of the court at all. And Marty Fish has proven that he can match Andy Roddick from the back of the court. And that's another reason why Roddick is so flustered and is talking to himself, because even on his own serve games, he's in trouble. Fish has had 4 break points against him. He's converted the 1. And that 1 decided the first set.
Game point.
(40-13).
Oh, that's a beautiful play. Kelly Jones, Marty's coach, says that's the way we drew it up. Beautiful cross-court forehand, sets it up, and then he takes this two-hander. He comes in, and just a perfect dropper. Tune in Monday Night Countdown, which begins at 7 o'clock Eastern on ESPN, leading right up to Monday Night Football, when Al Michaels, John Madden, and Lisa Guerrero will be in St. Louis for a pre-season special. Warren Sapp and the Super Bowl champs take on Marshall Faulk and the St. Louis Rams. Monday night, 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 Pacific on ABC. Remember, NFL Countdown on ESPN leads things off at 7 o'clock. That time of year, baby.
Andy Roddick just left the court. Apparently he's having a shoe problem. At 3 games all in the second set, Roddick's going to try to correct whatever that problem is. We're going to find out. Marty Fish winning the first set 6-4. back on court.
15 love.
As Roddick's short journey to the locker room is over. What's the shoe deal, Patrick?
He's had some shoe problems the last couple of years. I thought they were over with, but he ran into the locker room. He's always got a couple of pairs in his locker, in his bag. He may have just left one of his extra pairs in the locker room.
30 love.
Roddick saying there you go, because this is one of the few times he's really taken the ball early and been able to hit that big forehand. Started the match a bit passively from the back of the court, and that hurt him.
Body language a lot more
14,
in your
15.
face from Roddick now. Got a game point. He steals in at really most
14,
opportune time. Watch this again.
And again, the two-handed return. He gets Roddick on the move, and as soon as he senses his opponent scrambling around the defensive, he sneaks in. Look at those net points. 22 of 29, but Roddick still able to hold.
For 3, Roddick. Marty Fish to serve and we come back. No breaks. Second set. 1 in the first. Fish got it. He won it 6-4. Marty Fish has got the first set. He's serving here at 3-4 in the second, taking on the number 7 seed, Andy Roddick, who, if he wins this match, will lead the points race. And that translates into being the most successful player of this year.
15 love.
He would take over the spot from Roger Federer, the Wimbledon champ. There's a slight lead on Andy Roddick right now. It's one of the best returns that Roddick has hit in the match. He's running around trying to
15
get
love.
himself pumped. Here's that champions race. Ferrero in third. Cordia, Agassi in 5th position. He started the year so well. Did Andre winning the Australian Open? Schuttler, who he beat in the finals there. Moya, who's been struggling this summer. Nalbandian, who reached the final last week in Canada, losing to Roddick. Also tough on the hard courts. Ooh. I thought that caught from where we are up
Looks like
above.
just wide. Very close. That's really close.
Side of the line, right there.
It's really close.
Right there, it's at the side of the line.
I can see it, but I can't see if it's missing or hitting. From here.
Landed.
From here, I can't tell.
Side of the line right there with the markers with the fresh dust.
I can't tell if it's here or not.
The Marty Fish looks like he's dead right. We'll see.
15, 30.
Shot spot would have you believe that it missed by
Barely.
a millimeter.
We can't. It's the right decision by Jerry Armstrong in the chair.
Not overrulable,
No.
that's for sure.
15-30.
Kelly, Marty Fish made that flying overhead look pretty easy.
30.
It's not. At 15-30, he's in the air when he makes contact with that ball. There's a certain danger to that. You know, it's easier to hit that overhead when you're planted on the ground. You've got some roots. Talent. Great point for Roddick. First of this set.
13, 14.
Fish again showing his confidence and his ability to volley. And just that kick serve out wide and getting himself in a good position. Roddick knows that he's got to hit a good return. Fish continuing to make Roddick guess where he's going with that first serve.
He got have missed it.
I didn't hear a call, but I think there was one based on Marty's reaction.
Advantage Roddick.
Yep. Yeah, it was wide. That's caught. And good pace from Roddick on the pass.
Yeah. Break point number 2 this game and set for Roddick. Oh.
Oh,
How many more times can he do that?
you have to think, Cliff, after the last 2 points, as Kelly Jones cheers for his guy, that Roddick would be looking for that one again out wide, the kicker. And Fish comes back with the one right down the middle.
That is the 19th straight breakpoint saved by Fish. Flattens out that forehand, gets it wide and deep, and
Fish.
he has a game point. Fish's 3rd ATP title match of the season. Reached the Delray final, beat Roddick along the way. Roddick retired, so Fish doesn't really count that as a W. But he also got the Nottingham final where he lost to Greg Ruzetsky. That was on grass.
That's a big one there. 126 from Fish. The only other player, Cliff, to win their first title, first ATP Tour title in a Masters Series was your buddy, the old drop shot dragon. Remember him? Albert Portas, won in Hamburg. It's one of your favorite nicknames.
It is. I love that.
Haven't heard much from him since.
No, we haven't. But if he showed up now, we'd call him the Dropper Dragon.
That's right. Great return, 125 miles an hour.
15
on that first serve, and it just looked like Fish had all sorts of time on it.
Last time these two played was just a few weeks ago in Washington. Roddick won that one easily, 1-4. Just looking now at a different player. Marty Fish come of age here in 1 week.
That's some good aggressive tennis there from Roddick as Fish made Roddick hit a couple of extra shots. Wow, another great return from Marty Fish.
30.
Roddick is feeling the pressure of the Fish returns now because he's throwing down some major thunder, and it's coming back.
All. 4 games all. A huge second serve for Roddick, down a set.
Great approach from Roddick at 30 all, 4 all.
Roddick.
So Roddick holds. He's in front in the second set, 5-4. Another Fish to serve. Fish winning the first. 1 break to serve, 6-4. Match Tennis Masters Series. This is Marty Fish serving down a break. Down a break. He's down a game. It's 4-5. No breaks.
He hasn't been down a break since the first match here against Philippoussis. Loose forehand there from Fish. Roddick had a couple of opportunities in the previous serve game. Problem for Marty Fish in the second set has been that first serve percentage has been dropping. He's only at 44%. Wow. 2 straight errors off the first strike.
2 points away from the set now for Roddick at love 30. Well, that's a good serve out wide. Man, by the time Roddick made contact with that, Roddick, by the way, was moving sideways, not forward. He was way out of court. Strategy's been working fine for him. But not today against Fish. 30 all as Fish gets 2.
30 all.
Yeah. 30 all.
He's way back there, and the problem for Roddick there is he's trying to create an angle. If you're way back there, you have to play it very safe. Down the middle, try to get it deep, get into the point.
Yeah, he is not happy at this point. Andy Roddick loses 4 straight points from love 30.
5 games all.
That strategy of staying so far back on the second serve and even in the first serve here has worked so well for him until today. And I cannot put my finger on why, frankly. 15 all. I made 5 all. First at Fish.
Gets hit by the serve. Right on the side. 124. That is what you call a body blow.
15 love.
There's absolutely no reason Why Andy Roddick should apologize for that.
Thank you.
Did he apologize?
No.
I don't think he did.
No, he did it, but I mean, just thinking of a viewer out there is thinking, what's that guy doing to that other guy? They're whacking the ball straight at him. It's a very legitimate shot. Steadily love.
40 love.
Ace number 7 for Roddick.
Left.
Oh, what a two-handed backhand there. Look at the beautiful rhythm from Fish as he
40,
just
15.
takes that racket back and leans into that ball, flows right through it.
Game point, Roddick. Roddick holds. Fish will serve and we come back. On serve in the second. No breaks in the second. Marty Fish won the first set. A couple of games away from the title here for Fish. This is the Western and Southern Financial Group Masters. It's a Tennis Masters Series event, Mason, Ohio. Outskirts of Cincinnati. Cliff Drysdale here and Patrick McEnroe. You're watching Andy Roddick, who took out Max Marini in the semifinals. Now playing the championship match, trying to win his second Tennis Masters Series in a row. He's taken on Marty Fish of the USA. He took out Rainer Schüttler in the semifinal yesterday in 2 tie breaks. First set here today to Marty Fish behind 1 break. There have not been any breaks. Some chances, but no breaks in the second. And it is Marty Fish to try to get into the tiebreak. It's 5-6 second set.
15 love.
Roddick gets in
15.
control of the point with his forehand and then quickly moves in. And follows that one behind it, but not necessary to play a volley. Clean winner. Only Roddick's 5th forehand winner. Hasn't been able to use that weapon of his enough. At least so far.
Oh, that's very good from Fish. He played a 3-setter to take out Philippoussis, another 3-setter to beat Malise. He had an easy match with Clement, tie break against Nalbandian, and then against Rainer Schüttler, a couple of tie breaks. Hour and 25 minutes into this, he's on the brink, 30-15.
Oh, 2 straight forehand winners there. Surely will give Marty Fish
14-15.
more confidence going into this tie break. If in fact that's where we're going, which I think it is where we're going. Roddick not doing enough of that return, just put it right in the middle of the court.
Namas, one more. Second serve.
40-30.
It was showtime there from Marty Fish, and maybe not a good time.
No.
Still game point.
Game fish.
A lot of confidence in that backhand, doesn't he? He just has not second-guessed himself on that swing ever.
6 games all. Second set. Tiebreak.
Every one of them, obviously, but it's a really go-to shot for Marty Fish. He holds, and a tiebreak will decide the second set. First set to Fish. Roddick broken in the first point.
1-0 Fish.
Marty Fish has also won a couple of big tie breaks this week, including 2 in the semifinals over Rainer Schuttler. Didn't follow that first serve in there, and it would have been a pretty easy volley. Back on serve.
He corrected that in a hurry, didn't he?
And that was a tougher volley, but Fish again opening the court up. Stays low and just keeps that racket head nice and firm and still, and guides the ball into the opening.
On serve, 2-1 Fish. Tiebreak, second set.
Two all.
So the winners from Marty Fish, 13 at the net. 30 overall. Roddick with 21 winners overall.
What's this? Oh, these two. Oh, I mean, that's really a great point. And then look at the reaction after it's over.
I said, all right, we'll do that on the ping pong table after the match, too.
Marty Fish has stayed in the Roddick home in his senior year. School, both at prep. These guys are friends, and they're sharing the joy. And serve, Fish serving 2-3. Tiebreak, second set.
Let. Second set. Three all.
Another great swinging serve up the middle there from Fish.
I'm still so amazed that they were able to have that friendly exchange there, because this is such a huge moment in the life of a tennis player. Tennis Masters Series championship match. The winner takes home $400,000 instead of $200,000. Brad Gilbert, Andy Roddick's coach. Roddick hasn't seemingly lost a match all summer, only won semifinals, and he had a match point in that one against Tim Henman in Washington. So he has steamrolled everybody, but he's in real danger.
To mention that he would become #1 in the champions race with a win today, overtaking Federer. Missed it.
Mini break point to Roddick now.
What defense from Andy Roddick. That defensive lob kept him in the rally. And finally, Fish makes an error. They trade some blows during that rally.
$125 into the forehand side, and now Roddick's got 5-3.
Roddick.
He was there. Tried to steer that backhand, and Roddick's now got 3 set points.
6-3, Roddick.
Jerry and Blanche Roddick have seen a few practice sessions on their home court like this between these two. Just a little bit more at stake here.
Andy Roddick wins the second set in a tiebreak. So a third set, we'll see who hoists the championship trophy. Can Andy Roddick do it twice in a row? He won last Sunday in Montreal. Andy Roddick winning the second set in a tiebreak. It's 1 set apiece. Here's Andy on the difference that Brad Gilbert's made in his game.
When Brad came on board, I don't know if I expected things to happen this quickly. You know, I thought it was going to be a process, but luckily for us, we kind of clicked right away, and I definitely bought into his style of coaching, which is more along the lines of X's and O's and strategy and how to beat someone on that day, not so much, you know, the broadness of, you know, you need to work on this in your game. He says, okay, this is what you have right now. Let's work with it, and let's try to beat as many people as we can.
So it's worked out pretty well. 29-2 since Brad Gilbert came on. 3 titles. Looking for 1 more today.
Seats quickly, please. Thank you.
20-year-old from Boca Raton, semi-finalist, Australian Open this year. Winner last week, his first Tennis Masters Series title, trying to make it 2 in a row. This, by the way, got the semi-finals at Wimbledon as well.
15 left.
Marty Fish from Vero Beach in Florida, now lives in Tampa. Trains out of the Saddlebrook Academy. By the way, he got ticked at me the other day because I said he bought a condo. He said, no, doesn't PMAC know I got a house? What, a nice house? He's on from New York, you know, condo, apartment.
30 left.
It's all the same, right?
Yeah. He just told Doug Spreen, who's the tour trainer, to go get the left one, probably meaning the left shoe that he has in the locker room. Some shoe problems in the middle of that second set.
30 love Fish, first game, third set.
Unless it's those straps that Roddick wraps his ankles and straps he has around his ankles that he ties on before he puts the shoes on. 7th double fault there from Marty Fish. Still, Fish has not lost his serve since the opening match of this tournament for him. Oh! Roddick just rips that passing shot. Marty Fish with just exquisite hands right here, and this is an eyedropper.
It is an eyedropper. He does have good hands. I like that, and you know, that's as impressive to me because he's making it look so easy.
Well, an impressive start for Fish in the final set. The second set, there were some big blows being struck. This one in particular, the body blow. hitting Marty Fish on a first serve that was in. And then in the tie break, great rally. Both players working the ball. Fish sneaks in, and look at this. Roddick scrambles. And the two boyhood buddies enjoy what they're giving to the crowd here. And in the end, Andy Roddick is up in the tie break and wins that second set. So here we go to a deciding set.
What's the difference in that tie break, Patrick, in the second? Marty got out to a start, you know.
I'm trying to figure out what the difference was. Roddick just was, he was consistent. He was more solid. He didn't miss. He dug in.
Fifteen love. $30 love. $40 love.
124 mile an hour unreturnable. Game points here for Roddick to level in the third set.
Next.
Serve numbers are so even for these two guys. Roddick's won 82% of his first serve points, 52% of his second. Fish has won 83% of first serve points and 50% on the second.
Break points 1, 0 of 4 for Roddick. He hasn't broken. He won his second set in a tie break. 1 of 4 for Fish.
Which came midway through that opening set. They're showing the new balls.
$15 love. Let second set.
Oh, what a two-hander again, cross court.
30 love.
Roddick puts a return back. He thinks he's got enough depth on it to keep himself, get himself into point. Fish just steps up, and that looked like a routine winner from Marty Fish. Sometimes you get the feeling when guys take big cuts at a shot like that. Oh, okay. He's not going to be able to do that consistently. That looks like a very safe and secure shot, as does this.
So is that.
Yeah. Looking to hold serve for the 70th straight game. It's Marty Fish.
$40-15.
The last man to break his serve was Mark Philippoussis in the first round, first set. Broken twice. Since then, 69 straight serve games he's won.
Game Fish.
Down break point 19 times, just by the way, but not broken. 2-1, Marty Fish leading on serve in the third set. Roddick when we come back. Live coverage of Andy Roddick and Marty Fish in the championship match, Tennis Masters Series in Mason, Ohio. On serve, Roddick serving 1-2, third set.
$15.
Aggressive play there from Marty Fish. Andy Roddick's been able to hold serve pretty comfortably since getting broken in the opening set there. His aces to black, the yellow, the first serves. And how about the second serves? Mixing them up pretty well. A lot into the body in the deuce court.
$30-15.
Very comfortable on the first serve points. That's 82% and just over half on the second serve.
$40-15.
Point.
Game, Roddick.
Roddick holds. And it's 2 games all in the third. Wednesday at 4 o'clock on ESPN 2. More tennis. Women's tennis. New Haven, Connecticut. The Pilot Pen. Again, Wednesday at 4. And that is legitimate and great event there in that fabulous large stadium in New Haven, campus of Yale University.
Always a great warm-up for the U.S. Open for the women there. A return from Andy Roddick. Roddy Fish has held serve 70 straight times. Shot spot shows the serve direction. The first serves being mixed up very well. The second serves, most of them go into the Roddick backhand side. Some short second serves there as well. Roddick hasn't really been able to take advantage. There's that swinger. That's a surprising one. He sort of saved that for big moments.
15.
There've been a lot of them.
Yeah, I love 15s. Also, you know, that's the second serve. That is a big moment at this stage of the match. A 2-all in the third.
Faults.
Thought it was way long, Marty.
After it even lands 10 feet before the net.
Marty, I thought it was way long.
And you're going to tell me that that ball didn't skid off the line right there where that mark is right there.
Marty, it's possible I made a mistake.
Gary Armstrong in the chair has a look. all.
And Roddick has this tendency sometimes to
15-30
to call the balls himself, and a lot of the players don't like that. Players don't respond well when the player either puts his finger up or makes a call, as Roddick did there. And other players think that maybe Roddick's influencing or attempting to influence the chair. It doesn't go over too well in the locker room.
Big moment.
38.
Every time he's challenged on serve so far since that first set of the first round, Marty Fish has come up with what he's needed. It's 30 all, it's 2-2, and it's 1 set all. It's tight.
coverage from Marty Fish at net there. That stab, he got it
14,
deep.
13.
Roddick sort of looked at the linesman, hoping for a call, didn't get it. Fish puts the forehand into the open court.
Deuce.
A few more forehand errors creeping into the Fish game. Kelly Jones is Marty's coach, looking on.
Marty has never been here before. This is by far the biggest occasion of his young tennis life. This is a Tennis Masters Series Championship match. Roddick has some more experience.
Game Fish.
Couple of huge semis, and he won the Tennis Masters up in Montreal. 3-2 Marty Fish on serve, third set. Championship match. It is Andy Roddick, who's the number 7 seed, but is climbing the rankings in a hurry as he takes on unseeded Marty Fish. They're both from the USA. 3-2 in the third set on serve. WUSA Soccer as soon as this match is over, I was going to say at 6. That's at what time that it was supposed to start, but it will be following immediately our live coverage here. WUSA Soccer. San Diego Spirit, Atlantic Beat.
Love 15.
Atlanta Beat. Roddick serving, love 15. He's down 2-3.
Fourth double fault of the match for Roddick. And a good serve into the body there.
15.
We showed you earlier how Fish is standing so close to the baseline. That's been a good adjustment by Roddick to send some of these big first deliveries right into the body. As we saw in the second set, it's a little tough to get out of the way of it. Sometimes you can't.
One that whacked him.
Punishes this short ball.
Wow, 14-13.
Double faults in this game. Good news for Roddick, he still has game point.
5 in the match. Deuce. It's going to go down as a very good final, this Patrick. It's got a lot of interesting dynamics in it, both from the USA. Brad Gilbert watches his man having a great summer, Roddick.
Advantage Roddick.
Roddick holds even, 3 apiece. We're live here at the Western and Southern Financial Group Masters, and Roddick and Marty Fish in the championship. Soccer coming your way, WUSA Soccer. San Diego Spirit and Atlanta Beat immediately following our live coverage here from Mason, Ohio.
15 left.
A good 1-2 from Marty Fish. Boy, does he pick that serve out
30
wide
left.
so well.
Couple of good 1-2s here in this game. He's looking very confident. I mean, the drama of this moment doesn't take any toll on
Hasn't
him.
gotten to him, has it?
No.
No.
40 left.
That was
He's
clearly
given
in.
it to him.
That was way in.
Give Roddick a hand. He wasn't about to
wasn't
take
even-
that one.
He wasn't even close. Ace number 8. Both players with 8 aces.
Forty 15.
Marty's showing a lot of maturity too. Every time he makes an error like that, he goes to the towel, he takes his time, he regroups. See, a lot of young players play so fast these days, and sometimes when they make an error, they start to play even more quickly.
Solid volley there from Fish, but you got to keep it out of reach of Andy Roddick, especially on the forehand.
Tries the short one, but not short enough. Roddick's up to it. Marty was there for that. He just didn't get anything on that one.
So game point.
And all of a sudden, back to deuce from 40 love.
Deuce.
Neither player has had a break point in this final set, but both now are going to come up with something to deuce as Marty Fish's coach, Kelly Jones, is working those nails over at this stage of the match.
One break of serve in the match. First set to Fish. Roddick way back to return serve, gets it back in play, and Marty Fish taking the chance to get into the net.
And that's all he did with it, Cliff. He didn't go after the return at all, and Fish took advantage. Knocks off the volley. He's now been into net 56 times today. And the women's soccer coming up next.
Deuce.
Ninth double fault. 2 hours old, this match. Not including the 5-minute warm-up before it all starts. Dead even.
Fish is very quick to recognize the return position of Roddick.
Yep.
He slides it out wide when he sees Roddick way back there and just gets in quickly.
Just what I was thinking. Roddick needs to adjust.
Oh, yes.
Here's that one down the line for a winner. Fish holds. And this match is going the distance, folks. 4-3, third set. Tiebreak in the second for Roddick. They've leveled it to the set apiece. We're in the thick of it. Marty Fish in front, 4-3 on serve. No breaks in this third set. In fact, only one break in the match. This is Tennis Masters Series Championship match. Race leader, if he wins today, he will catapult above Roger Federer.
15 left.
Juan Carlos Ferrero, Andre Agassi will be the man.
Fish was able to get on that second serve early in the match, but recently he hasn't been able to touch that kick out wide as Roddick either hitting it shorter, getting more angle on it, or Fish maybe a step slower after a couple of hours. I think probably a little bit of both. Roddick's rhythm on that serve has been much better the last couple of sets. And another easy hold.
I think that's a good point, Pat, because I don't think he's ever had this much tennis in 1 week. Andy Fish.
4 games all.
Soccer game is underway between San Diego and Atlanta. No score yet. As soon as this is over, we will join that semi-final. WUSA Soccer.
Good heat there from Marty Fish off the forehand, right down the middle.
15 left.
Standing pass. That volley skipped off the line.
15 left.
Great balance from Roddick here. He stays down and through that ball. How low he stays when he makes contact.
15 all. 4 games all. 30-15 now, Marty Fish. These two senior year.
30-15.
Marty stayed in the Roddick household. They are firm friends. Marty Fish in his first major final. His third tour final, but never a Masters Series event before.
Marty opens up the court with this serve again, and Roddick way wide. Another volley into the open court and deep. Roddick could not run it down.
Game point.
Oh! A one-handed pass. Now that's a new one from Andy Roddick. I've never seen him in a shot like this on the one-handed pass. A flick. Seen him hit it in practice a few times. Has the chance of going from a very good final into a great final. These next few minutes.
Some really nice dynamics between these two young American players. The era has changed. Roddick will serve it for 5 in the third. Marty Fish leading Andy Roddick, the number 7 seed here in the third set. This is the championship match. It's all on the line right here. $400,000 to the winner. San Diego Spirit and Atlanta beat that. Already underway. We'll be joining it as soon as our live coverage here from Mason is over. No score in that soccer game yet. Four, 5, Roddick to serve.
You know, I have a feeling that Brad Gilbert's enjoying a tough match like this in a big final. Watching his guy. He's won so many easy matches this week and in the final last week in Montreal. Yes, he played a very tough 3-setter against Federer in the semis there. And you know Gilbert wants another title here for his guy, but also know that he's looking ahead to the U.S. Open. And a tough, tight match here in a big final will help Roddick, win or lose, I think, going into the Open.
Win better than a loss.
Yes, that would be a little better. question what a win would do for Marty Fish.
30-15.
Well, we were pre-taping a little discussion between the two of us about the U.S. Open, and Patrick, I've got to say, giving you the chance for an outside pick for the U.S. Open, you mentioned Marty. Pretty high praise.
30 all.
Roddick's sixth double fault.
30 all, 2 points away for Marty Fish at 4-5, third set.
That's out.
Match point for Marty Fish.
30-14.
Biggest moment of Marty Fish's life.
Oh, how about that first serve? Kelly Jones says, are you kidding? 104 mile an hour spin serve. And right in the corner. Roddick handles, Fish handles the heat there.
Picked up that serve so quickly, and it brings him his second match point.
Oh.
More juice on that one at 116 mile an hour, but he still kicked it.
That's one nasty kick serve. 116.
Needing one break of serve today. Then a call, not a call before, and Roddick was hesitating, looking for one, didn't get it. Oh, it was good.
Yeah, it was good. Roddick stopped, and boy, did he get lucky. As Fish misses the easy overhead.
He may have missed it partly because he was watching Roddick's reaction. Who knows? Game point Roddick. Roddick holds after 2 match points down. Coming up next here on ESPN2, will you stay with us? USA Soccer semifinal, San Diego, Atlanta. No score in that game yet.
Yeah, he's working those fingernails over now, isn't he? Brad Gilbert. 2 match points saved by Andy Roddick.
Sometimes you get to the final championship match and seen some matches along the way, and it can fizzle. The only match of the day, 2 combatants left, but this one has not. It's lived up to what you expect from 2 who've made their way through this field. Roddick winning the second set in a tiebreak to level.
secure.
30 all.
And that was really an easy one for Marty Fish.
Roddick trying to become the first player since Patrick Rafter, 98, to win the Canada Cincinnati double. Wild forehand gives Roddick a break point. His 5th of the match. Hasn't lost his serve since day one here. Mason.
Fish comes up with his own excellent serve, that time on the second serve. And both players feeling the tension. Some wild swings these last 2 points.
San Diego Spirit and Atlanta Beat coming up. Immediately this match is over, no score.
Like versus.
Dead solid, even a set of these 5 games, all deuce on this Fish serve game.
Let versus.
Guides that forehand volley and in fact the backhand volley so well. His field looks so secure.
He moves through the ball so well, Cliff. That's the key to that, because he keeps the wrist nice and firm. And remember, he missed an overhead in that last game. This time he makes no mistake, but his balance going through the volley is so good. Very little racket work. Doesn't drop the wrist. Roddick so far back, running into one of our camera guys down there. Look at this. That one looked to be just long.
Advantage Fish.
Serve volley combo of Marty Fish this week has been as good as anyone's since Stefan Edberg.
There's another one.
And he holds 6-5 in the 3rd set now. Roddick will serve and we come back live from Mason, Ohio. Live coverage of the Western and Southern Financial Group Masters. It is one of 9 Masters Series events that heads toward Houston, Texas at the end of the year. Tennis Masters Cup. Marty Fish at 6-5. Andy Roddick is going to serve. San Diego Spirit and Atlanta Beat coming up next year on ESPN2. The WUSA semifinals. No score yet in that game. The boys of summer. Andre Agassi so successful, 95, 26, and 1. Then got to the US Open final. Rafter had his effort in 98, and now Andy Roddick.
after he won the Open that year. That was back-to-back. He won his first in '97. Roddick winning in Indianapolis a few weeks ago.
15
Losing in the semis to Tim Henman in Washington, where he had a match point.
In the tiebreak of the third.
And then won, of course, last week in Montreal. Roddick has saved 2 match points so far in this final.
Thirty 15.
Tiebreak's going to decide this championship. One tiebreak, and it's all on the line. $400,000 to the winner, and
6 games all. Final
this
sets.
Tennis Masters
Tiebreak.
Series Championship trophy.
As Marty Fish himself said yesterday, I've been holding my serve so well. He hasn't lost serve today. He said it may very well come down to some tiebreaks. And that's what's going to decide this championship match. One tiebreak.
Roddick backs up for the second serve.
A tame swing there.
Fish.
The ball may have skidded off the line.
Yeah, but that's why he backs up, to give himself a look at that. That was tame.
That wasn't.
I was just going to say the next swing won't be tame.
129.
1 all.
Great how Marty Fish has been able to hang with the top
2-1.
dog of
Roddick.
this summer. Andy Roddick. Still hanging with him. On serve, 1-2.
Next. Versus.
Well, that was a good pickup, and he was waiting for the forehand, too.
All those practice matches they played. Marty Fish, this one was a tough one. Picks it up, gets it deep, and he sits on this one down the line. These guys, Marty Fish, lived with the Roddicks at their house in Boca Raton for a year in high school. Practice sessions in the backyard. 2-all in the final set tiebreak.
Oh, that is the first mini break of the tiebreak, and it goes to Andy Roddick.
Fish has been successful coming in, but this time Roddick steps up to the challenge.
Those will change ends after this point, and that'll please Marty Fish. Sun is worth over there. Roddick with a 4-2 lead in points in the tiebreak.
4-2, Roddick.
Soccer up next. USA still no score. San Diego and Atlanta. Seven points wins a tiebreak if you've got a 2-point lead. 4-2.
Just as he did in the second set tiebreak, Andy Roddick bringing his best stuff when it counts the most.
The pressure now is squarely on the next 2 points here from Marty Fish. He doesn't win them both, he's down an insurance break. Marty Fish wins the first of 2 on his serve, but he badly needs to try to stop Andy Roddick's second straight Tennis Masters Series championship. If Roddick wins this, he will be number 1 in the points race for this year. Number 1.
Fish does it. He wins both. But Roddick still with that crucial mini break lead. Again, the 1-2, the wide serve,
Roddick.
the volley into the open court.
Andy Roddick will serve from the sun into the shade of that huge scoreboard in the stadium, then into the sun again, and then probably into the shade again if he serves to the backhand. Hustle from Fish does not work the second time, and Roddick is at championship point.
6-4, Roddick.
He's won 9 of his past 10 tie breaks. Seven days ago, he won his first Tennis Masters Series.
Missed it. He's got another. What a match. Roddick holds up the number 1. Who knows what's at stake? What a match from these two guys.
Number 1 says Mom. It's a huge moment here for Roddick as he has won back-to-back Tennis Masters Series starting last Sunday afternoon in Montreal.
Brad Gilbert breathes a heavy sigh. So here it is. Andy Roddick vaults past Roger Federer, and he'll be looking for one real big one at the U.S. Open, trying to win his first major. And what a week for Marty Fish. I mean, he really showed us something in that final there.
Great championship match here in Cincinnati. Andy Roddick, a double winner. Pilot Pen on Wednesday on ESPN2 at 4 Eastern. Please join us for that. This has been a presentation of ESPN, worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com. It's soccer up next. WUSA semifinal, San Diego and Atlanta. For Patrick McEnroe, I'm Cliff Drysdale. It's been a great week here from Mason. Thanks for joining us. Goodbye, everybody.